report the news that nobody has the balls to report.
Why am I the only one breaking stories like this? You can call me Uncle Turtleboy, Clarence, Aidan. I don't care what you call me.
Did you not say that you were gonna take my baby out of revenge and make him a transgender baby?
I think they don't like the things that I'm saying and they want me to stop saying them, but I'm not. I'm never gonna stop. Now, these are the kind of stories, guys, that must be told. I'm just a guy who's breaking stories and reporting news from my basement.
Hello, what's up, Turtle Riders? How's everyone doing out there? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we got here. It's so weird. I see 2, 3. Okay, it's weird because it's on Facebook. I'm not used to that, but I can see. So, like on my StreamYard right now, it says how many people are on Facebook. We're live on 2 platforms right now, Facebook and Rumble. If you guys are unfamiliar with it, I'm going to go ahead and put the Rumble link on the Facebook chat. If you guys want to watch it that way, where'd it go? I just had it. Hold on, I got it right here. I'm going to put it right in the chat. There we go. All right, cool. So you can watch it on either one. Like I said, if you're new to Rumble, if you don't have a Rumble, make sure you are smashing that subscribe button because I do anticipate us being more and more on this platform as the show goes on. How many people we got on Rumble right now watching? Where does it say the number? Is it 13? That can't possibly be right. That can't possibly be right. Or what does the I mean at the bottom? I see 13 with an I. Okay. Whatever. Anyway, I'll figure this out as we go. There was a big number before. I'm new to this. We have 1.05 thousand subs on this platform. That's cool. We could use more, so make sure you're smashing that subscribe button because, like I said, we did this on Saturday night on Facebook and on Rumble. And it went pretty well. Our audience was actually bigger than it normally is on YouTube, which means people found us. People definitely found us on there. So anyway, I have a big week coming up. I'm not going to lie. This week, I have a really, you guys are going to be really excited for what happens on Friday. Let's just put it that way. I'm getting on a plane on Thursday. I have a flight at 2:00, going to an undisclosed location, flying out of Logan. I'll tell you that much. And go into a place, and it's going to be a big deal. You're going to say it's going to be a big deal, hopefully. So stay tuned for that. I'm not going to give any more info. I'm going to announce on Turtle Club on Thursday night exactly what it is. You guys will know first, and then I'll do a blog about it on Friday, simply because I don't need assholes going and fucking this one up for me. So I want it to be a nice and secret. Anyway, do we determine how many people are watching it on? I see 7 thumbs ups. 25 thumbs up. Let me refresh this. We'll say how many are. 71 watching. There we go. Okay, cool. So anyway, I gone ahead and I shared this on the various social media pages that we run. You guys all know what they are by now. Okay. And I see how many people are on Facebook right now. We got 8. Okay, cool. Whatever. We're just going to jump right into it, folks. So again, if you guys, as you know, pretty much everyone's suing me right now. So there is a super chat function on the Rumble page. There's not on Facebook, so I'm going to go ahead on Facebook right now, and I'm going to dump this onto their Turtle Chat. So if you guys want to donate, you can do it that way. I will get an email notification if you do that. I'll bring it up on the big screen, share it with the class. But on Rumble, it's just like a regular super chat. So if you click on anything, if you click on that $ button, you can donate whatever amount of money that you want to. So we got some first timers here on Rumble. Does the show start automatically once we're here, or we have to refresh? I think you do have to press the play button. So whatever. Okay, so let's just jump right into it, shall we? All right. So first story, the big story of the week, obviously, that we need to talk about here is the story out of. Let me pull it up here. Boston, or Melrose, or whatever the hell you want to consider Katherine Clark from. So, okay. So if you guys missed it over the weekend, there was some guy named Tortuga or some shit. I don't even know. So basically in Atlanta, they're trying to build a big facility down there to train police officers. They call it Cop City, and they need to chop down some trees in order for that to happen. People are saying no show. I'm live right now, Deb. What? Are we live? I mean, we are live, right? I mean, I see like 7. I don't know what Deb's talking about. She's like, what? No show? I see 133 people watching right now. We got to get Deb in there. Okay. Well, I'm on. I've shared it on Facebook, so she'll figure it out. Okay. All right. Anyway, so there's like a big facility down there that they're trying to build for police. And I mean, those two things together, trees and police, like those are like the Green New Deal people that like wanted to fund the police. This is like their worst nightmare. So they don't want it to be built. So apparently they're all like blocking, access to, like, I don't know, chaining themselves to trees or some shit. I don't know all the details, but I do know that Tortuga, or whatever his name is, he shot at police first, and he ended up getting shot back, and he died. And so now he's like a martyr. And so it's become, even though Antifa, the Democrats have told us, is just an idea, it's not a real thing. It's not a movement because it has no leaders. That's what they always say. It's got no leadership. It's got no structure to it. So it's not an official organization. Okay, fine. Whatever. It's just a bunch of ragtag kids with, skin tight black jeans who are going through a phase because they're mad because their stepdad, Jeff, drank all the Mountain Dew. I don't know. Like, whatever it is, they're not organized, whatever. They're real. The human beings doing it are real, and they cause real damage, and they're bad. But apparently they have some sort of structure or organization because they managed to like create a nationwide riot situation over the weekend in like solidarity with Tortuga. Like, for instance, let me bring up Congresswoman Cori Bush's. Oh God, she's so gross. She is the most, like, you thought AOC was bad. This woman is just yikes. Let me pull up her tweets here. She had a lot to say about this. Okay. I'm lost for words. Oh God. Okay, here it is. So first of all, I love this one. This one is about Roe versus Wade, and she's over here talking about how, I don't know, sensitive issue, but she posted this about how freedom and 50th anniversary. She goes, and let's be clear, Republicans aren't stopping with Roe. In just their first couple of days in power, they passed 2 anti-abortion bills in blatant attempt to lay the groundwork for a national abortion ban. No, that's not the part. I want the part where she's just like, I've had a whole bunch of abortions. She basically said, it's like, why would you announce that? Anyway, she's fucking crazy. But she also wrote something about the Tortuga guy. Let's read it. Or maybe it was on, she's got 2 accounts. By the way, this shit she posts up here, all this shit about AAPI people. There was a shooting in Monterey, and immediately everybody, like a bunch of Asian people got killed, and immediately they blame it all on white supremacy because that's just what they do. They don't care if it's true or not. It turns out it wasn't true. But, they call them AAPIs. Have you heard of this term, the AAPI community? I have never heard an Asian person refer to Asian people as anything but Asian. We just call them AAPIs. It's like the new Latinx, the term that only they use that no one else actually uses. So, but she also wrote something about the Tortuga guy. Let me find it. Oh, here it is. Okay. Last week, police killed Tortuga, whatever his name is, Tortuga, a climate justice protester in Atlanta who was defending a forest set to be destroyed for Cop City, a police training center. I'm calling for an independent investigation into their death. There must be accountability. So apparently it's non-binary or something, because she refers to it as there. And she's just the worst. A Cop City, like the idea of having a place for police officers to train to do their job effectively is in and of itself a bad thing. Like, we can't have, like, where else are they supposed to? They have to train to be cops somewhere, right? So we have to build it. And climate justice. Okay, relax, simmer down. Okay. So yeah, people are just like, dude, he shot a cop. He literally shot a cop. So what did you expect them to do? Anyway, that's the kind of shit that you're seeing out there. And you get some, and these are from leaders, you know, like that's an elected official in Congress talking about how 𝗵𝗶𝗳𝗃, the terrorist who shot an Atlanta police officer, should somehow be exempt from getting shot himself, apparently. But anyway, one of the people that in Boston who joined the protest was a non-binary person by the name of 𝗟𝗲𝗴𝗹. So you might have seen this. We talked about this in the blog. I'm guessing everybody who's watching right now has kept up with this story. But if you haven't, we'll just fill you in. So basically, there was like 20 Antifa in Boston, and in solidarity with the 𝗵𝗵𝗃. And they're all protesting, police doing their whole thing. Police are bad, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. And police were already on high alert because they had been notified about the 𝗵𝗵𝗃 movement. And they're like, we need to be ready for this, right? So they get to the Boston Common. And they notice that somebody is spray painting shit on the Parkman bandstand. Now, if you're going to deface anything on the Boston Common, I feel like the one thing that we can all kind of unite around is the Martin Luther King Memorial, because that thing looks like a big old dick. I mean, it's a nationwide joke. It literally looks like Coretta Scott King is holding her some big MLK dick. But he went for the bandstand instead, and the cops caught him in the act of doing it, and they went to go arrest him. And he resisted when this happened. And he was writing on there, he's writing "No Cop City, ACAB," which is, of course, all cops or bastards. There you are. R.I.P. Tortuga. Don't call it public safety. Okay. I was just there the other day. But they arrested a guy, according to the police report, by the name of Jared Dowell, a 23-year-old from Melrose. And when he was arrested, a whole crowd starts forming around the police, and they are yelling vulgarities at them, threatening them. And I believe one officer was assaulted. He was bleeding from the nose and mouth as a result of that. And yeah, he's just a piece of shit. So as it turns out, this is Mr. Jared Dowell. And he is the son of Representative Katherine Clark. I don't know if we have any turtle riders out there who have Katherine Clark for a representative. Her district basically runs from Revere all the way west up to, like, I don't know where it ends. Like Lexington, is that where she ends? Like, she definitely has like Melrose and Malden, I think, and all that shit. But she's it's the second most liberal district in Massachusetts. There's 9 districts. Ayanna Pressley, of course, is the most blue, but her district is extremely liberal. I think she's got Cambridge too. Which means it's going to be just wacky liberal. Like, no Republican has a shot there. I haven't looked up her percentage, but I assume she wins with like at least 75% of the vote every time, simply because she is a Democrat. And she's not just any Democrat. She's somewhat of a high-ranking one in the House. She is the House Minority Whip. I don't know what they do. I don't think they actually whip people. I think they're supposed to like whip people up to vote. I think that's why they call them that. And that would make her like the second or third ranking Democrat in the House. So she's kind of a big deal. She has power. And this is her son that was arrested. And this is the press release that she puts out on Twitter after this gets out, and he's immediately identified as her son. Last night, my daughter, she says, my daughter was arrested in Boston, Massachusetts. I love Riley, and this is a very difficult time in the cycle of joy and pain in parenting. This will be evaluated in the legal system, and I am confident in the process. Okay. First of all, it's like she's trying to be edgy and offensive here. My daughter. That's like the first thing she says. Like, no, bitch, it's your son. Okay? It's your son. He has a dick, and XY chromosomes, he's your son. You've called him your son your entire life. It says male on his birth certificate. Okay. It says male in anything because he is, in fact, a biological male. So, but Riley, or as she calls him Riley, which is a made up name. And she says that this is a very difficult time. This is the best part, in the cycle of joy and pain in parenting. The cycle of, as if this is like some relatable thing. Like I love how she puts this out there that like other parents are supposed to be able to relate. Like, oh, I feel you. Kids these days. Yeah, my son's in Antifa too. And he's non-binary as well. And he's going through a phase where he wants to kill cops and all. Like, I totally get it, girl. Yeah. Like, aren't they the worst? This is just part of the cycle of parenting. It's like, no, actually, it's not normal. Like, this is not supposed to happen. This represents your failures, of course, as a parent. You did this. This is largely your fault, as we are going to see. Anyway, so she noticed that nowhere in here does she make any sort of condemnations for his behavior. Like, for instance, like, we did not raise him like that. We have respect for Boston police officers. He should not be vandalizing city property on the common. Hate has no home here. Like, imagine if he was writing other things that weren't in aligned with her political philosophy. What would she be saying then? But anyway, she goes, so she doesn't condemn it at all. And by the way, let's check out some of her tweets just to show you what a piece of shit this woman is. And that this kid did not just become Antifa. Like, we're all a product of how we're raised. Now, I understand, and this is kind of my biggest worry, right? Is that someday one of my kids will grow up and be a piece of shit. Like, I worry about that. I'm not going to lie. Because they're so nice right now. They're so innocent and sweet. And you're just like, why can't you just stay this age forever? Because everybody likes you right now. Everybody likes you. Everybody who meets you likes you. Everybody wants to be around you. Everybody wants to see you. People want to see me because of you. Like, everybody likes you. And I just wish I could freeze this point in time, because like, I know that they're going to become older and they're going to become adults. And it doesn't matter who you are as an adult. Every adult out there has some other adults that don't like them. And it's just like, you wish you could just hit the pause button and keep them at their innocence. So like, it is my biggest fear that like my kid will grow up to be a shitbag. And I'm doing my best to make sure that doesn't happen. And I feel like 99% of the time, the outcomes of the kids are a reflection on the parenting. Like, kids very rarely who come from like really good homes and who are raised with really good values and are raised really well. And I don't mean just like Bible thumping people who just tell kids about Jesus and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm talking about like actually raising them to be good people, right? Not just to like repeat religious dogma or any of that stuff. I'm talking about actually being, caring and nice people that aren't pieces of shit, right? And that's what I'm trying my best to do. And people like Katherine Clark are often credited with being, because they're wealthy and because they've provided everything materially their kids have ever wanted. They think that that's good parenting, but it's really not, because kids need attention and they need love. And that's what assholes like Jared here didn't obviously get. And they need good rearing. They need good values. And quite frankly, liberal values suck. Like, liberal values, you're teaching your kid to be a shithead. So for instance, let's go through her tweets. Today, House Democrats stand together to ban chokeholds, demilitarize the police. When you see the word demilitarize police, that is a what do they call it? A dog whistle for defund the police, demilitarize. Like, what does that mean? You're going to take their guns away? You're going to take away... So you're going to spend less money on them. You're defunding the police. Okay, I get it now. But she also says, end racial profiling, bar the use of no-knock arrests, develop a national standard on using force to act for the people on behalf of justice. # justice and policing. More than 100 unarmed people have been murdered or brutalized by police since George Floyd was murdered. Okay. Is it really true? I mean, is that true? Like innocent, define unarmed. Like it's just so misleading. I don't believe any of these freaking stats. Remember how crazy people went in June of 2020 over George Floyd? There is no single policy that'll erase the decades of systemic racism. But it's time for meaningful reforms. It's time for change. It's time for justice in policing. For too long, qualified immunity has prevented us from holding police accountable and protecting the lives of Black Americans. Can we stop right there? So qualified immunity is basically telling cops that if you're sued for something that you do wrong on the job, you can't be personally sued for it. Like if like you arrest somebody and you break their wrist, right? Part of the job. Like you shouldn't do it. If it's an accident, why should you get sued for that? Nobody's going to do their job if they have to worry about personally being sued. As it is now, the municipality gets sued. And so qualified immunity would make it so like the individual would get sued. What do they think that's going to accomplish besides making people not want to be police officers? Who would ever sign up for that job? Or should we have qualified immunity for people like Katherine Clark? Like why talk about qualified immunity? Who has more qualified immunity than a congresswoman who represents a district where Democrats get 75% of the vote? You have a 0.0% chance of ever losing. You will never be challenged. You will never sweat out a race. And you know that. You can fuck up over and over and over again. You can vote to send our kids to war. That might be a gigantic mistake and a lot of people will die. Do you get qualified immunity for that? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You don't go to jail for that. You don't get sued for that. We can't sue you for making a bad decision on RPF. So why should cops be able to get sued for what they do when they make mistakes? This is a person who just hates the police. The moment demands real action, and Massachusetts should be leading the way. Or this lie. This is 2021. She tweets this. 7 years ago, Michael Brown was killed by police in Ferguson. By police? He was killed by one police officer, not by police. He should be alive. He should be, he would be alive if he didn't, rob a store, assault a clerk. I mean, Big Mike Brown was over 300 pounds and he beat the shit out of some immigrant store owner in Ferguson and robbed him. And that's why the cops were called. And then the cop came, Darren Wilson, and he tried to take Darren Wilson's gun. We know that because his prints were all over the freaking gun holster. And like that, he should be alive, but he's not because he tried to kill a cop. So he's dead. So good job. So he's dead. And he must be honored. We're going to honor. Like what, why should we honor this individual? He's called for honor from Mike Brown. Like this is insane. 150 years that she calls police. She calls jails slavery. Oh yeah. Because all children in America deserve the assumption of safety and the same guarantee of justice. Tonight, we voted for them. Justice. She found the one black chick in her town. Takes a picture with her. How about this one? Praying for Jacob Blake. Until we can take action against racism and police brutality, tragedies will continue. We can't wait another day to enact hashtag justice in policing act. Hashtag BLM. Oh, yeah. Jacob Blake, by the way, is a horrible person. This is the arrest report for him. Let me read it to you. The victim stated that at about 6 a.m. she was woken by the father of her children, Jacob Blake, herein known as the defendant, standing over her saying, "I want my shit." As she lay there on her back, the defendant suddenly and without warning reached his hand between her legs, penetrated her vaginally with a finger, pulled it out, sniffed it, and said, "Smells like you've been with other men." That's what Jacob Blake did to this woman. And I share this every time it's sent. That's the actual police report. He raped her in her sleep and then said, "Smells like other dick has been in there." Officer reported that the victim had a very difficult time telling him this and cried as she told how the defendant assaulted her, and then the defendant immediately left the bedroom. She stated that the defendant penetrating her digitally caused her pain and humiliation and was done without her consent. He then stole her car, as he's done before, and that's why Jacob Blake got shot, because she had a restraining order on him She was filing rape charges against him, and he showed up there, and they had kids together, and he tried to kidnap their kids who he didn't have custody of. The police were called. The police tried to stop him from doing that. He had a knife on them. He pulled it, and he got shot in the process 7 times. And now he's paralyzed. Good. He can't rape anyone else. He should be dead, but I'll take paralyzed. Sure, he can't rape anyone now. So his raping days are over. His raping legs don't work anymore. Good. I don't give a fuck about Jacob Blake. You're going to cry about Jacob fucking Blake? What is wrong with you, woman? There's so many, you know how many people in this country are hurting right now who are going through real pain? There's actual murder victims out there that could use your support and love and your time. And this is who you're wasting your words on? Some fucking waste of space piece of shit rapist named Jacob Blake. Why? Because he's black in Wisconsin. He doesn't even live in Massachusetts. What the fuck do you care about Jacob Blake? Shut the fuck up. I guarantee she doesn't know any of this shit. God, I hate these people. We need to change the federal statute so it's easier to prosecute and hold officers accountable for crimes committed. Like, what are they talking about? Derek Chauvin is spending the next 20-something years in jail. And by the way, those 3 other cops who were with him, and especially the 2 that were like holding down his legs and were like rookies and doing as they were told, they're going to go to fucking jail for a couple of years. For what? For what? What the fuck did they do? Seriously. I mean, they're acting like police officers aren't being lynched right now by our society. That is exactly what is happening right now with cops. They're being attacked because of cunts like Katherine Clark, who wouldn't know a hard day's work if it fucking smacked her in the face with a big old dick. She wouldn't know any of that. She's an uppity bitch from Melrose who has spent her entire life insulating herself away from people of color and living in wealthy communities with other wealthy white women like her. And then they want to act like they're, man of the people, or, I'm down with the black community. I know what it's like to be Jacob Blake. Black people, wow, you guys have it so hard. Well, you might think that if everything you learned about black people you was from sitcoms and shit, because that's ultimately what she knows. Nothing. She knows nothing about black people. And she thinks that their biggest problem is the police, which it's not. Black people have the same problems white people have. The fact that eggs cost fucking $7 and gas costs fucking $4 a gallon. That's their problem. Anyway, so it goes on to say, so here she is.
Hi, I'm here in
Listen to her
Medford,
voice.
And we have just concluded a Black Lives Matter.
Oh my God,
protest.
cringe.
And
We
I'm
have
on
just
today
concluded.
to say her name.
Oh my God.
Breonna Taylor. Today would have been her birthday. She was a frontline worker and she was killed in her home by police. It has been months since her death, but we cannot let her death be forgotten, nor the deaths of countless other Black women. So today we say her name and we honor her by taking action.
Breonna Taylor's boyfriend shot John Mattingly, a Louisville police sergeant, who they had a warrant. If you want to be mad at anyone, be mad at the judge that granted the warrant in that case. And the police were just doing their job, serving the warrant, and they got shot. He got literally shot, and so they shot back, and she died. And it is what it is. I don't know if she was involved in anything, but she got wrong place, wrong time. Don't shoot at the police; you won't get shot back. And this is what she was in Kentucky. You don't represent Kentucky. What the fuck do you care? There's people in your district who are dying, including police officers. So, she's got all this time to talk about Jacob Blake, and we need qualified immunity. We need to hold police officers accountable, and we're going to honor you. We're going to honor you. You should be alive. We're going to honor Mike Brown. Mike Brown deserves to be honored. For what? He was a criminal. What are we honoring Mike Brown for? Well, do you honor the police officers in your own state who in the last 5 or 6 years have been murdered by thugs who should have been in jail? 3 in particular come to mind. Sean Gannon. Any mention of him on Twitter? Nope. No results. How about Ron Tarantino from Auburn? Any message? Nope. Nothing about Ron. Sean Gannon, of course, was killed by was the Yarmouth police officer who was killed by a career felon. They just call him 125 because the amount of felonies that he had charged with him. There was no reason for that piece of shit not to be in jail. Ron Tarantino was killed by a man named Jorge Zambrano, who had been in jail but was released by District Attorney Joe Early because, quote, jail wasn't working for him after he assaulted a state trooper during a traffic stop just a couple weeks before. Jail wasn't working for him. It was working for Ron Tarantino, but it wasn't working for Jorge Zambrano, so he was let out. No mention of him. Is there a mention of Michael Chestnut? Nope. Another guy, another police officer in Weymouth, murdered by a piece of shit who had multiple violent felonies on him already, Manny Lopez, and just whatever. Just no big deal. Let him go free. Kills a cop. No mention of any of them. That's what a piece of shit this woman is. So anyway, so this is why the kid is writing, by the way, all cops are bastards on the bandstand, because his mother taught him that all cops are bastards. They're the bad guys. She's probably never told him about good things police officers do ever, that they sacrifice their lives, that they have families too, that they're human beings too. She's probably never humanized them. When you write things like all cops are bastards on shit, you are dehumanizing police. You are equating them to the uniform that they wear instead of the person that they are. And they're human beings, just like any other profession. So yeah, this is a normal thing to her. Like this is, and by the way, this is the home that this piece of shit grew up in. They just sold this home in Melrose for $2 million a couple of years ago. 4,000 square foot house, nice hot tub on the deck, very nice living there. And she sold the house and bought a new oceanfront property on Revere Beach. Probably, I mean, you don't really think of people like moving up in the world and moving to Revere, but it's right on the ocean. It's a really nice property. $1.3 million, I think she paid for it. And which is weird because these are the same people who tell you that climate change. Oh, hello, Carrie. How you doing? That climate change is the biggest existential threat that we have ever faced. Well, everything is to these people, but climate change is their favorite one. It's my favorite one that they talk about climate change. Is there anyone out there that's actually worried about climate change? No, there isn't. No, there is not. If these people really believe that like the seas were going to come and swallow up coastlines in the next 12 years, then mortgage companies wouldn't let you buy homes. The banks wouldn't give you mortgages to buy homes anywhere near the ocean. Insurance companies wouldn't insure you on them. Nobody would buy the homes, but this woman did. And this is a complete lie that she made up about Jared and climate change.
They've also given us a model to become our own leaders. And let me tell you what it means to me coming in as a different generation. I remember my middle child waking up with nightmares over concern around climate change.
No, for fuck's sake. So my own middle son, she said, right? That's Jared. So first of all, that never happened. Like picture him like sleeping. Again, good night's sleep. Antifa. ACAB. Respect my pronouns. I'm going to get my dick pierced tomorrow. Can't wait to get the surgery and start taking my puberty blockers and my hormones. Gonna change my name to Riley this week. Climate change! Climate change! The polar bears! Mommy! Climate change! Oh, thank God. Thank God I woke up. But wait, climate change isn't real, is it? Oh my God, it's still real? Oh my God. Oh my God. Is my dream ever going to end? Climate change. Okay. So that's what she would have you believe actually happened there. Like their kid woke up in the middle of the freaking night and started to cry about climate change. So that didn't happen. If it did happen, it's a result of literal child abuse that you have raised this individual to believe that they are going to die at any moment now. And it's psychologically impacted them so much that they can't sleep over it. So you're a piece of shit if you do that. But if he's so scared of climate change, if he's that much of a pussy, then why is he participating in street riots and shit? Like, that to me seems more scary than climate change. But if she's so concerned about climate change, then why would this is literally their house right on the beach. Like, that's where their dad is posting from. Now, Rodney Dowell is also a piece of shit. He is the Supreme Judicial Court announced that he would be named to the Board of Bar Overseers. Now, I did not know what this was, but apparently they are the people that rule on misconduct for other lawyers. I mean, talk about a politically connected job. And this is why scummy lawyers get away with shit, is because of people like him. And because he's the one that decides if you can be a lawyer or not. Do you think he's going to be politically biased? I mean, look at him posting about on social media. Excellent social distancing and mask wearing on the orange line this morning. Imagine thinking that actually worked. Like, imagine that. No. In 2018, Trump fired the entire pandemic response team. Partly false information. If Facebook is fact checking you and saying that you're wrong and you're a liberal, you're really wrong. You're really, really, really wrong. Rodney and Kat, and so here's their three sons. Okay. This is Addison, Jared, and Addison's. I thought Addison was the transgender one because he's got like long hair, but it's actually the middle one, which is Jared, and then that's Nathaniel, the young one there. And I mean, look at Jared. Jared is a regular looking boy. I could have sworn it was this one. It's not. It's this one. I mean, he's just a regular boy when you look at him. And talk about change too. Like, dude, I have never seen someone age so fast in Congress than this woman. She got elected in 2012. That's what she looked like, dude. 2012. And then this is her literally 6 years later. She became Elizabeth Warren. Like, look at, dude, are you kidding me? Remember this creepy picture when the Democrats did a sit-in after Parkland for gun control? Yeah, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. So that was a productive use of their day. Doing selfies, hashtag having fun. So they sent Jared off to Middlebury, the most radical of all secondary or college institutions. And, you know, he starts looking like this with the hair. But again, this one's got longer hair. And to me, he looks like every, you know, puck moving defenseman. Like, he looks like he should be playing hockey, doesn't he? Looks like a hockey player. Doesn't look like a tranny. But, you know, a lot of guys have long hair. But anyway, he just decided to call himself Riley and decided that he was non-binary. Of course, we know that non-binary is a completely made up thing. There's no such thing as there's no such thing as transgender, but there's definitely no such thing as non-binary. At least with transgender, the people are picking a team. They're picking a side. They're being like, no, I'm a girl. Well, you're not a girl, but at least you've chosen that. At least you've made a choice. With non-binary, it's just like, well, what do I feel like today? I don't know. It's like you're literally just making shit up. It's the most ridiculous made up thing I've ever heard. And he goes by she, her pronouns, which is made up. But if you're non-binary, why are you identifying as she, her? That doesn't make any sense either. I thought it was they, them. But he's got some Reddit posts here. And this is what he posted on Reddit. How long ago was this? 1 year ago. I was wondering if any of you guys have any advice about how to get rid of chest and stomach hair. Yeah, it's called a razor, my dude. It's not that hard. And I can afford electrolysis or laser therapy or whatever. You could afford it right now. Just ask mommy. Shaving and nair can be hard on my skin. Oh, for fuck's sake, dude. Are you kidding me? You want to be a chick and you're like, what happens when you have to shave your pits, dude? You're going to be a chick, right? You're going to have to shave your legs and shit. Oh my God. But maybe it's just the technique and frequency of how often I'm doing it. And then he turned into this. So this is what an individual looks like when they are desperate for attention. And think about it. I never understood how people in Congress can be parents. Like, the more you think about it, the more like it really is not conducive for a parent. Like, you should Wait till your kids are like out of college, I think, to run for Congress, or just be a single person. Because it's like, if you have a 5-year-old, right? Like, suppose I was in Congress, right? So what would I do? I'd go to Washington. You have to work there. So I'm just going to see you every weekend or some shit. Like, what kind of life is that? Like, when the mother is in Washington, D.C., living there constantly, her kids need attention. Like, this is in their formative years. This kid probably was like 12 years old when his mom got elected to Congress, and he's going through middle school and high school, and mom's gone all the time, and he's desperate for attention, and he starts like doing some weird shit. And then mom is talking about transgender and non-binary and fuck the police, and he's watching her on TV, and he's just like, well, I guess, how can I please my mom? How can I make mommy happy for me? Well, I'll be what she wants me to be. I'll be transgender, and then I will get mommy's attention, and I will hate the police, and then mommy will be proud of me, and I'll have a cookie, and life will be great. So, there he is, and then this whole look is just like, dude, come on. It looks stop it. Anyway, it's interesting because she has never mentioned Jared on Twitter ever, nor has she ever mentioned her other two sons, Addison and Nathaniel. She's never mentioned any of them. Jared, Addison, Nathaniel. But when you search the name Riley, it comes up several times. Like in this tweet, a day of equality for our kids. Riley, Janik, and Evie. And it's like, I looked these two up. That's 𝗵𝗹𝗃𝗪𝗹, the Seattle Congresswoman. The other one, I think, is from Illinois. I forget her name. But I was reading a story. Let me see if I got it here. Let's see. One of Howie's people, Emma Foley, she wrote a story about this. I don't know if I can find her right now. But it was interesting that every member of Congress who has a transgender kid. Oh, here it is. Actually, I'll bring it up over here. This is actually an interesting story. So it says, having a Democrat mother in Congress and wanting to change your gender is uncannily common. And it talks about how, for example, 𝗵𝗹𝗃𝗪𝗹's son, Janik, declared himself gender nonconforming in 2018 while attending Wesleyan University. This gave Representative 𝗟𝗃𝗪 the chance to sprinkle in an incredibly personal element while speaking on the House floor in favor of the Equality Act. My beautiful, now 22-year-old child told me last year that they were gender nonconforming. The only thought I wake up with every day is my child is free. My child is free to be who they are. And in that freedom comes a great responsibility. So if a normal person, their kid tells them I'm gender nonconforming. If my kid comes up to me, he's like, Dad, I'm gender nonconforming. I'm like, the fuck does that mean? Like, that means nothing to me. That's made up. You're a boy. It says so on your, I changed your diapers. Pretty sure you're a boy. You're not gender nonconforming. You might want to be a girl. Maybe you're gay. That's okay too. But you're definitely a male. You're a biological male, son. And that's just the way that it is. But not Democrats. They're like, as soon as she hears that, it's just the perfect anecdote. Like, now I can use you. Now I have something personal to use. Like, there is a 0.0% chance that a Democratic congressperson, if they have a kid that is transgender, there is a 0% chance that they won't use that for political purposes. There's no way that they will just be like, well, that's your business. You can do, yeah, that's fine. No fucking way. They're like, oh, jackpot. I can totally use this one. It also allowed 𝗟𝗃𝗪𝗹 an opportunity to share her support for this ridiculous thing in her congressional, that she is the proud mother of a transgender daughter named Kashika. Oh, so she has two. So she is a tranny and a gender nonconforming kid. What are the odds? Oh, and their op-ed, she had an op-ed on transgender legislation that made it into Teen Vogue. The daughter did. Speaking on Teen Vogue, Representative Marie Newman from Illinois secured a photo shoot for herself and her son Tyler in 2021, except Tyler goes by Evie and has been trans since 2019. This would mean that Tyler came out shortly following Newman's 2018 primary loss. She gained her seat in Congress after running again in 2020. I did not know that. Okay. So basically, so she lost and then her son became transgender and then she won. Interesting. So yeah, it is weird how they always seem to be like that. They always seem to have the same pedigree when it comes to mom. You'll never like in there. The three of them are like, look at us. We're all using our kids together. And this is what so again, she's never tweeted about her other kids, but she tweets about this one all the time. Every person should be celebrated and free to live safely regarding of their gender expression. Today, Riley and I are celebrating International Non-Binary People's Day with the reminder that inclusivity and acceptance make our community stronger. We see you. Okay, so she's using him. Or how about this anecdote in favor of the Equality Act?
A few years ago at a town hall
Okay, the mask, the fucking mask. Unbelievable.
in my district, a young student asked me, what is Congress going to do to protect trans people like me? He bravely stood before an auditorium of neighbors and told me he was terrified by the bigotry and discrimination against him and his LGBTQ plus community members. I have heard these fears expressed by my own non-binary child.
Oh, non-binary.
And their fears are not misplaced. Our LGBTQ neighbors face discrimination in healthcare, housing, education, and employment. Even here in the People's House, members of Congress are describing transgender people as something less than.
What does that mean?
As undeserving and illegitimate. Today, our vote for the Equality Act says to every person, you matter, that you deserve to live your truth for respect and dignity, that there will be no true freedom for anyone until there is equality for everyone.
So basically that means that you have to be able to use the restroom for that, right? You have to be able to use, be able to change. If you can't change in front of women in the locker room, then and watch them change and force them to look at your dong, then you're not really equal. That's basically what she's saying there. So Jared is basically just a vague idea for her. He was arraigned today, and this is how he showed up looking. So there he is. Like that's, and keep in mind the arrest report says he, him, male, because that's a male. Obviously that's a dude. Like that's clearly a dude. It doesn't even make, it's wearing a male's suit. It has a male's haircut. It has a dick. It's a male. And yet in the police report, it says that's a male. But in the Boston Globe's reporting and on WCVB, it says her behalf, daughter, cycle of joy in parenting. But in particular, they quote the police report. It says right here, where'd it go? This is the actual police report. It says he attempted to flee by violently flailing his arms, striking the officer. But then the Boston Globe writes it as one officer approached Dowell, it doesn't say she in the report. It says he. And nowhere in here do they say, well, we changed the words around. That this is not what the report says. So if you're doing that, then you're no longer a reporter. A reporter's job is to report what is in the police report. Okay. That's not in the police report. Now you're editorializing. Now you're adding to shit. You're no longer a reporter. So yeah, Jared can go fuck himself. Again, nothing's going to happen to him. But what if Jared wanted to go to prison? Like what if Jared committed a more serious crime? Then what? You're going to put that guy in a woman's prison? That angry man? That's what he is, an angry man who can't control himself with serious mommy issues. Yeah. Anyway, so there's that. I do also want to talk about this other thing that I did today. This video. Did you guys see this? This story out of Freetown. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's watch it real quick. So we talked about this woman before a couple months ago. Her name is 𝗟𝗲𝗳𝗃, and she is lives in Freetown. She's a mother of, I think, 3, and one of whom I believe is school aged, or maybe 2 are school aged. But Freetown is in a nice district with Lakeville, and they have 4 schools, 1 elementary school in each town, a middle school, and a high school, which are both in Lakeville. And she was really worried about school shootings after Uvalde, as a lot of people were. Because my big take on Uvalde was, how the fuck does somebody just walk through the door? Oh, let me check Turtle Chats, by the way. I didn't check Turtle Chats. I don't want to miss anyone. If anyone, okay, we're good anyway. By the way, if you guys like the program, you want to support what we do, Rumble has the super chat option. So if you can, that money sign at the bottom there, if you click on that, you can write whatever you want. It'll come up. I'll read it out loud to the class. You can also donate with the Turtle Chat, which I've posted on Facebook. And if you write a message with that, I will read your message out loud to the class. My Cash App is $, Uncle Turtleboy as well. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about this. Oh my God, Big Black Jeffrey. What, is he on? Oh, is he here? What's up with Jeffrey? Oh, okay, never mind. Anyway, so this chick here, very nice lady. I've spoken to her a couple times about this, and I'm completely on her side. She's fighting this, and so, but her story to me is just crazy because she was really worried about Uvalde because the guy just walked into the school, and that's what I've always said about all these school shooters. How the fuck they just walk into the school? It was hard to get into my school. They didn't just let anyone in. Like, what's the purpose of having locked doors and you have to get buzzed in if there's no like vetting process to let you in? Again, we need to treat schools like fortified castles that we would treat where we would, they're our most valuable resource. It's kids. Like, there's clearly a problem in this country of deranged young men with access to firearms that are going around like lighting kids up. Like, it's fucking a serious situation. So we can't do much about the mental illness thing. We can't do much about the gun thing, as much as these people always say, well, we need to do guns, but you're not going to. So what next? Maybe the one thing we can't control is making sure that schools are safer from shit like this. But that's never addressed by the left, ever. And so this woman's actually concerned about it. So she goes down to the school committee meeting and she says, hey, I'm worried about, a gun potential being able to access the school. Is there a plan? They go, oh, it's so safe. Go down there and see for yourself, they tell her. So she does. And they were really dismissive of her. So she does. And she just walks into the first school in Freetown and just walks in. And she's like, are you kidding me? So then she goes to a school in Lakeville, the elementary school, and walks around filming herself. She gets buzzed in at that school. She makes up a name. We're going to watch the video in 1 second. She makes up a name and then just walks around. Then she goes to the middle school and the high school and does the same thing. She alerts the superintendent about this. And instead of thanking her for what she's doing and highlighting a serious problem in the school, they have her charged with trespassing and breaking and entering. Now, how the hell is it breaking and entering if they let you in? If they just let you in? Like, how is that breaking in? What did you break into? And shame on Lakeville police, quite frankly, for going after this woman. Watch this.
Hi, you gotta pick up my son? 𝗟𝗲𝗴𝗹.
Caleb Montero. And they just let him in. She just goes doesn't ask, she made the name up. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that she didn't just guess a name there, that she didn't get lucky, that there is actually a kid named Caleb Montero. She could have said any name and the lady just buzzes her in. Now, if you buzz somebody in like this, the office is right there. You would expect to see them in 2 seconds, right? If you don't see them in the main office within 15 seconds, that should be an alert, and you should go and find them, and you should do something about that. There should be some sort of like lockdown procedure in place. A stranger in the building, an unidentified person coming off the street, there should be a procedure in the place, but that does not happen.
Insane. I just gave my son the key to the school a false name to let me into the building to see how far I could get. Now I'm
just walking around
the school building. No one's stopping me. I gave, like I said, a false name, 𝗕𝗿𝗄𝗄, to get into the building. And now, if I was a crazy person, I have access to all these children. This is insane. This is literally insane. Look at these babies. Look at these babies.
I mean, it's, to me, watching this, it's just like, thank you. Thank you for doing a public service. Thank you for highlighting this problem. How many places, schools like this are there in this country and in this state that are like this? They should be thanking her for pointing this out. And the secretary who just buzzed her in like that, she's the one who should be reprimanded right now. She did this. She allowed the stranger in. And the principal should also get in trouble, because why do you not have a better system in place? Why do you not have training in place to go over what is the protocol for letting people in the goddamn building? In the goddamn building. This is insane.
They don't know who I am. My son doesn't even go to school here.
My son doesn't.
has no idea. I mean, the school has no idea. I'm going to the principal's office. I wonder how far I can take this, because now I'm going down several different aisles. Nobody's stopping me. This is absurd. We need to do better. Are you kidding me?
Watch this hallway.
Are you kidding me? This is so bad. Thank God I'm not a psychopath who wants to go and kill a bunch of children, because it's rather easy to do so.
Watch this. Watch this part. She walks around. She walks through the whole school. Look at it. Here come like 5 teachers. 1, 2, 3. 4 teachers walk by. Not a single one of them says anything to her. No, I'm not blaming them. I'm blaming the principal. How have you not trained these people? Like, this is an era of school shootings. Uvalde happened, what, a month before this happened, or a couple months before this? How have you not trained these people to say, here's what we do if you see a strange person in the school? You ask them who they are. If they don't identify themselves, you scream bloody murder. Everybody closes their door. We do code red and shit, and everybody fucking hide. That's what you do. But no, it's just like the doors are open and shit's crazy. Crazy.
This is disgusting. This is horrible. This is so insane.
So she ends up going on to a couple more schools. It happens at all of them. And I see people in the comments like, this could not happen at my kid's school. I hope not. It couldn't happen at my high school in Worcester. This could never happen there. South High School is not like this. And they would get you, like, if this happened. But for some reason in Lakeville, you can just walk around and do this. And in Freetown, you just walk around and do this. Again, they should be thanking this woman. Instead, they are charging her. It is outrageous. She has my full support, and we'll see what comes of that in the future. All right, cool. All right. Anyway, why don't we? I bet if she didn't look like that, things would have went this way. Yeah, but I mean, so it's like, So I guess as long as a school shooter looks like her, then they can get away with it, I guess. All right. Anybody have any questions they want to ask? Fire away. Let's just do this. I bet Get You At High would let her wander. All right. I'm trying to read the comments on both Facebook and on Rumble right now. Does she have a GoFundMe? She does. It's in the first blog. It's linked in the first blog if you'd like to donate to it. So why did you bash 𝗟𝗏𝗃 when she was exposing shit in the charter school double standards? No, I'm not. I'm not. That's not why I bashed her, though. My thing was like she was all upset about, what the fuck was she mad about? She was mad that they had pictures of Muslim people up, I think. And she went a little bit like too far. Like, because she wasn't there to expose an issue with school safety. She was there to expose some like retardedness about like what they were teaching or something. I have to go back and read it. I don't really remember. Rich Duke sends $25 for Krusty's new Keurig power cord. Can you believe that, woman? Can you believe that? Like, she just, after 2 weeks ago, exposing Andrew Johnson for the monster that he is, and she just doesn't care. Just goes on like it didn't happen. Who cares? Oh yeah. So what? So my boyfriend routinely beats the shit out of me, and I've been proven to have been a pathological liar about him being my husband. That was a complete lie. Yeah. So and so my son is scared of him, but I keep him around anyway. And he pulled a fucking knife on my daughter. But yeah, we'll just pretend like none of that. So what's up with Chili? And what's Chili up to these days? Let's talk about Chili some more, and let's judge other people. Okay, so apparently there's no dono button on the app on iPhone. So I'm going to post the turtle chat if anyone would like to donate on the Rumble. Boom. All right. But let me read some more here. The big difference, she was told to do this. Yeah, that's a good point too. She was literally told to go check it out. So she did. Andy Johnson, DCF, being an awesome guy. Andrew Johnson, yeah. 33 likes. No, there's more than 33 likes. I see 59 likes. Keep hitting that like button, folks. 279 watching on Rumble right now. Dope. 22 on Facebook. Not so dope, but that's cool. All right. Any other questions? In my private business, you have to display ID, and you are trained to question those without ID. Exactly. Training, man. Rumble fixed their layout much better. I agree. To me, this is very similar to YouTube. I don't know if there's any other bugs that could be fixed, but to me, I like it just the same. Any more updates on the good boss? No, I haven't really thought about him much. I've been working on bigger stories, quite frankly, since then, but I'm sure he'll be back. Facebook is awful. I'll never have an account. Did you ever have one? Facebook does kind of suck. I mean, nobody's using Facebook. It's still the most popular social media, but I feel like Twitter is where it's at. You guys follow me on Twitter? I'm at Dr. Turtleboy, DOCTOR Turtleboy, because if Jill Biden's a doctor, I'm definitely a doctor. Dude, I'm gaining like 100 people a day on there, followers, like a couple hundred some days. I'm going to be at 25,000 soon. It's going up fast. Got a cash app here for my guy, 7-pounder. Sends 25 big ones. Thank you, sir. He says, for the First Amendment Defense Fund. Thank you very much. That will be put to good use, 7-pounder, man. I love fighting for the First Amendment. I love taking on these douchebags, sicking it to them in court. I feel like we're all in this together, We're all in this together. So thank you, 7-pounder. Rumble bugs, auto refresh likes watchers. Yeah, that's one thing about how you have to refresh to see how many likes. Definitely. You can't collapse the keyboard. Interesting. I ditched Facebook when my grandparents could join. I follow you on there, but I never got on Twitter. I mean, Twitter is where I use Twitter a lot more because it's just completely free. Like, I don't worry about being censored at all. Twitter and Rumble are the two places I feel free. The only platforms I feel free. I did publish like 5 blogs today, so if you got a lot of notifications about that, 𝗕𝗿𝗄𝗃, that's probably why. Julia Mejia is a bully. Yes, she is. Did I see Crowder on Tim Pool? Yeah, I did watch that yesterday. I did watch the full. That was one of the best episodes of Timcast I've ever seen. It was there was 170,000 people in the live chat yesterday. 170,000 people. So, do you guys watch Timcast? You guys should. I've recently started getting more into it. You should subscribe to it. Timcast IRL, I think it's called. Good show. But anybody else have any other questions? And I think like with the Crowder thing, I mean, I'm with Crowder. I tweeted this out yesterday, and like Mike Cernovich retweeted me. He's got 1.1 million followers. So I got a lot of flack, a lot of people agreeing and disagreeing with me. I'm in spirit, I'm Team Crowder because I feel like this whole idea that the Daily Wire was going to punish him and take away money from him if he got banned by big tech is so outrageous and ridiculous. Like, that's, if one of your employees gets demonetized by YouTube and you punish them, it's like, dude, you should use that as a rallying cry. Like, okay, so Crowder got demonetized, so go and sell a bunch of t-shirts or some shit about like fuck YouTube or some shit, you know, go use Rumble, go build your own goddamn platform. Like, Daily Wire is corporate conservatism. Like, anybody who has to work, like, plays by the rules too much of big tech, you're not really free. You know, like you are censoring yourself, whether or not you want to admit it, you are censoring yourself. So I'm with Crowder in that regard, but Crowder's also an asshole. Like, I can't stand his voice. He's one of those fast talkers like this. But he talks really fast. And so he like does this and like, you think you're really smarter than this, but it got this and he talks over everyone. He doesn't let anyone get a chance to speak about it. It's like, dude, like, I don't like his shtick. I've never been a fan of his. It's like with Shapiro, it's the same shit. I don't like the fast talkers. I don't like them. And who tapes a phone call with a friend? Like, who does that? Come on. And just airing the dirty laundry in general. It's like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Will I have Turtle Club Thursday? Yes, I will. We will be having Turtle Club Thursday. So I'll be landing in DC around, I think, like 4, and then I'll get to I don't know what time I get to the hotel. But it's all being taken care of. Let's just put it that way. All being taken care of. It's pretty sweet. I'm getting the full treatment this weekend. It's going to be dope. But yeah, I'm going to set up Turtle Club that night. I'm going to do it from my hotel. And don't worry, Michelle Olsen, your donos are not going there. I'm not even paying a dime for this. It's going to be dope. I'm going to check out the Tony Branch one. Somebody asked any update on the Tony Branch. I checked it yesterday. Let me check today. Plymouth County. I'm not saying shit. Don't worry. Branch. Anthony. Let's see. Defamation. Okay. Nothing. Okay. No update on that. So still under advisement. Have I scrolled to the bottom of the page? Oh. Yeah, I know Jeremy Boring read the whole contract. I'm not listening to a 1-hour show about a fucking contract. I'm like, who has time for that shit? But I'm on Twitter to follow you and some others, but I have no followers. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, but who cares, you know? It's about who you follow, not about who follows you. And thank you, Rose H. I appreciate that. I have not been in Facebook in ages. Twitter's where it's at. It is true. Crowder is a hypocrite. Don't disagree with that. Tim got super dramatic for a bit. Did he chill out more? Yeah, I mean, he's always been that way. But it was a term sheet, not a contract. Big difference. I agree. That's the thing. You're supposed to counter with something that you don't like. I saw your last Turtle Club subject to discovery because it will not end well for Julia. Yeah. An asshole does it. Yeah, that's what Crowder recorded Jeremy Boring from the Daily Wire on purpose to for the purposes of playing it out loud and getting him to say things that he disagreed with in order to make him seem like a sellout, right? Whatever, I didn't spill anything. A lot of things happened in DC. Let's put it that way. How is Crowder a hypocrite? It's just, so he uses YouTube too, he talks a big game about and he also hides his really bad shit behind a paywall. So he understands the rules too, and he kind of plays by the rules as well. And so he's on YouTube, and the fact that he has somebody at YouTube he can call to fix his problems. So you have connections there. I don't know. I think it's a lot of whining, quite frankly. I think Steven Crowder's doing pretty good for himself. He can't compare to the level of censorship that I've dealt with. Nobody ever will. Yeah. Can you post the phone? Can you postpone the trip to next week so I can place a bet? It's Tucker. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We will see. I know. I like how everyone starts to bicker and pick sides. That's the thing. I just shared my opinion about it, but because Mike Cernovich retweeted me, it got all this attention. And I didn't really have that strong feelings to begin with. So I have all these Daily Wire stands and then Crowder stands in my freaking mentions. And it's just dude, I really don't care that much. And people are all mad. Dude, relax. Okay. Uncle Turtleboy is the only guy on the internet I root for. Thank you, Real Fat Rob. Appreciate that. Let's see. All people with over 1 million, as someone to call it YouTube. Exactly. That's why it's just it's two big con people going at each other and arguing over who's actually big con. Dude, you both are. Okay. YouTube asked him to stop putting mystery merchandise in his kit. He agreed. Hypocrite. Yeah. So he was not allowed to sell the "Don't Be a Fig" shirt or whatever. "Don't Be a Fag" shirt. That's what it's basically. And then so he's okay, well, we're going to sell you a mystery box. And then he'd put the shirt in the box and sell it. And they were well, you can't do that either. And so you're right. He does ultimately play by their rules when it gets down to it. Crowder actually seems like a guy who would give you. I mean, I don't know if he would. I mean, he seems like an asshole a little bit to me. But that's just me. I don't know these people personally. But so do the Daily Wire people. They all seem like they're fucking too above it all. That's why I don't give a fuck about any of them all. The ones I like are the ones that are there are some down to earth bigger accounts. And the people like Andy No and they're just assholes. They think they're bigger than they actually fucking are and more important than they are. That. I like Mike Cernovich. Mike DMs me. We've spoken privately. He's not afraid to retweet me and shit. Jesse Kelly seems very personable. Let's see. Hope you're seeing Ted Cruz. We'll see. I've met Jesse Kelly before, and I've met Ted Cruz before. Ted retweeted me one time. That was cool. All right. Anybody else? When it appears as though a teacher is targeting my daughter over a sweatshirt. Okay. I don't know why Aidan bangs skinny smoke shows. I like my meth teeth Shrek gorillas. I'm sorry. My bad. I apologize. My bad. Can't help it. Awful story come out of Duxbury. I know. I've seen some people comment on that. I don't even want to think about it. But will there be a Saturday show? If not, yes, there will be a Saturday show. Who do I have for the games? Or who do I want? Or who do I have? I'll tell you one thing. This year's Super Bowl, I mean, I've never seen 4 teams that have such close odds before in conference championship history. I think the Chiefs are like plus 225. The Bengals are plus 250. The Eagles are like plus 265. And the Niners are like plus 275 or some shit. Like they all have almost the same odds of winning. Both lines are incredibly close. If I had to pick who I honestly think is going to get there, I would take the Bengals and I would take the 49ers, the 2 slight underdogs. I just think they're better teams. They're both on the road, but I just think they're better teams. I mean, what the 49ers are doing right now with Brock Purdy is insane. The Eagles are obviously a wagon, obviously. But you know what? I think it's going to be Bengals against Eagles. The more I think about it, I have more confidence in the Bengals winning than I do of either of the NFC teams. And the 2 teams I don't want to win the Super Bowl, like I dread a Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl because I don't like either of those teams. I'm sick of both of them. I really don't like the Eagles at all. I hate Eagles fans. I hate Philadelphia in general. And then Kansas City, it's just like they're becoming too much like the Patriots. You know, they're becoming like 5 straight. I don't like that at all. Like messing with Brady's legacy. I don't like that. So they need to start not making Super Bowls. So if those 2 made it, I'd be like, fuck, well, one of them has to win. Fuck. God damn it. I have to root for one of these teams. So I would, and then if the Niners were to play the Bengals, well, I'd feel bad if one of them didn't win, because if the Niners lose in the Super Bowl, that would be 3 straight Super Bowl losses for them. And I wanted them to win the last 2. I wanted them to beat Kansas City. They lost. I wanted them to beat the Ravens. They lost. And now I would feel bad if they lost 3 in a row. But if they won, they'd also tie the Patriots. I don't want that either. And then the Bengals, like, how can you not root for the Bengals? The Bengals have never won a Super Bowl before. They've lost 3, I believe. And if they'd be in Bills Vikings territory if they lose this next one. But they have to win. I think the Bengals are going to beat. If I'm going to pick right now, gun to my head, I think the Bengals are going to beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl. That's my pick. I mean, how can you not root for the Bengals? Come on, man. You got to root for the Bengals. They need to win one, Thoughts on the Taunton drag queen story hour? I haven't had a chance to write. That was like a week and a half ago, wasn't it? It's just the drag queen story hour stuff is so absurd and ridiculous. And then I'm convinced that these Nazi people who show up are actually plants. The more I think about it, I'm like, I want to go there and actually interview them. How come nobody ever wants to take their masks off, They're going to take it all. Burrow's legit. You got that right. Who do you guys like? Let's see your Super Bowl picks. Will the Jackson Pollock be sent out? Yes, it will. Eventually it will. I just have to figure out the right medium for it. And I want her to sweat it a little bit. Like, she made me sweat that out. Now it sucked, like I had 6 months of that hanging over my head where she was threatening to. And then she finally, I never thought she would. Then she actually did. It turned out to be a blessing in disguise. But it still sucked when it happened. So, and they're way better. Like, hers are way better. You guys will like them way more. Trust me. Way, way, way more. All right. Anybody else have any other questions? I'm trying to keep up with all the comments. The Chiefs remind me of the 99 to 2001 Rams. Yeah, they're a lot better than that. The Rams made 2 Super Bowls and that was it, and won 1. The Chiefs have made 5 straight AFC Championship games at home. At home. I'm the only one who doesn't watch football. How is that possible? Chiefs going to win, easily the best team. I don't know if they're easily the best team, my dude. I heard Chrissy will distribute for free. I know. Maybe she will. Eagles, Bengals. Eagles win, Suzep says. Let's see. What about Atlanta Antifa burning the city? We talked about that earlier. Or we talked about the cause of it. Bunch of assholes. I like the Celtics, though. I'll tell you one thing, though. It's very cool that the Celtics, I mean, when you look at it, the Celtics and the Bruins are in first by so much right now. Like, it's crazy how, what are the odds of having the best record in hockey and basketball? Has any city ever finished with that? The best in both. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Like, one of those two teams has to win a championship this year. They both probably won't, but they're so good. One of them has to win. I think the Celtics are more likely to, just because there's a lot of luck in hockey. There isn't as much in basketball. But they're both favored to win the championship. But, you know, there's still the odds are, if you had to pick Celtics or the field, the odds would be in favor of the field. The Celtics would still be plus something. So odds are still against them to win it all. But you combine that with the Celtics and the Bruins, and you're like, well, one of them has to, right? Like, one of them has to win. Okay. Why do you refuse to talk about the Bruins? What are you talking about? I just talked about the Bruins. The Bruins lost tonight. Tatum, bad pass, could have won. Because I know everyone on the Celtics tonight wasn't playing. For some reason, the Magic own us, like fucking own us. Are we done with the Magic, hopefully? I never want to see them again. What are we, 0-3 against the Magic this year? Ridiculous. And everyone was hurt tonight. Brown's hurt. He was out. Brogdon's out. Marcus Smart's out. Everyone's out. So I guess Tatum carried the team. Well, we almost won anyway. Okay. I got a turtle chat. Somebody says, okay, I do have a turtle chat. KV. I'm going to read KV's out loud here instead of bringing it up to the big board. I'm just going to read KV's turtle chat out loud. He says the following. KV says, sends $10 and says, Shiz looks like Sam Kinison in drag. Who's Sam Kinison? Kate has shoulders like a man, and her fingers look like breakfast sausages. Bits and Pieces is a couch facing the bed style cuck. Oh, that's so great. But who's Sam Kinison? Who's Sam Kinison? I'm gonna Google that name. Sam Kinison. Oh, that guy. Isn't that Meatloaf? That fat guy. Oh, he's a comedian, right? Okay. She does kind of look like him. That's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you very much, KV. All right. Anybody else have any other questions? Dump truck. All right, guys. So I guess we'll call it an evening. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you, the rest of you guys. I'll be in a hotel for Turtle Club on Thursday, announcing where the fuck I am. And then Friday, we have something special for you. So stay tuned for that. We'll see you guys all for the next episode of the regular live show, though, on Saturday night. Peace, Turtle Riders.